Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Toys Tracker, which is a third-party take on a Masterpiece Trax. And this one I'm still kind of mixed on how I feel about him exactly. Um, and I am starting with him in vehicle mode, even though he is packed in robot mode. There are plenty of reviews out there that show him from robot to car, but he also has some things you need to keep in mind going from car to robot. So I figured it wouldn't hurt to have a review going from car to robot out there in the mix. But we'll start with a quick look at the box. And we do have a nice little bit of artwork here of Trax on the front. And on the side we just have that ST02 tracker. Same on this side. Just legal jargon on the bottom. Just Star Toys on the top. And on the back we have what is, I'm pretty sure is more of a render of the actual yeah, I don't think that's an actual picture. I'm pretty sure that's like a CG render. And there are definitely some differences, like the hood of the car is much more orange than yellow. We do not get physical instructions. We only get QR codes, and that is actually some major points against this guy because he is pretty complicated, all things considered. I honestly feel like he's a bit over-engineered, but we'll get into that. But that's it for the box. And as mentioned, there are no physical instructions. But we will take a quick look here at the vehicle. Got some nice silver paint there for the hubcaps. It does have a nice metallic finish. We do get his signature crest on the hood there. He does roll not the best. You can see that there's a lot of undercarriage. He's pretty compact in there, honestly. We do get painted tail lights. These aren't all the way in. These don't really tab in very well, but you can see the wings there, and what are the legs, and these are the arms. Does have little mirrors. Those are something you have to be aware of as you transform. There's like a slight gap here at the back windshield. It's not too bad, but it doesn't really close up very well, so that is a bit annoying. And yeah, as far as like getting him into car mode, and especially the transformation into his like flight mode, there are some parts that really do fight with you, especially these doors and how they clip in, because the leg panels here essentially like lock them into place, and to get them back out you have to make sure that these are pulled down while you detach the doors. And I really very highly recommend having a tool present when you transform this guy. It'll make things a lot easier. But we will do a quick size comparison. So here he is with the KO MP skids that I got recently. Make sure they're both in the shot, just to give you an idea of how they stack up. And here he is with, I believe it was Generations Trax. So here he is with an older deluxe. Just see how they scale up together. But yeah, I will definitely give it credit. It does look very nice, and when you get everything together, it's mostly pretty solid. These, again, don't tab in super well. There's a little tab right here that's supposed to go into this big chest panel here, and it doesn't really go all the way in, but the joints are tight enough that it's not like falling out from the bottom really. But yeah, I think that's about it for the car mode. So since we're here, we're going to go into the flight mode, and this is probably the worst part of the figure, because again, it really fights with you. But to start, first thing we're going to do is we are just going to pull these out from underneath. And then we are going to want to come here to these leg panels, and again, it's just a lot easier to do this with the tool. You're going to want to get under here, like so, and you want to basically pull these all the way down, like all the way down, so you can see the slider here, and that will let you pull this tab loose from the side. It's a little tab right in here. And it's a lot easier to put it in than it is to get it out, but we're going to do the same on the other side, and we're going to bring this as far down as we can. And that should give us the room to pop this out. There we go. Now, for the doors, we want to bring them out to the side, and there's also a little tab here that really doesn't like to let go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the tool again. Just kind of get this under and see if I can. Really don't like how much I have to use the tool just to even the smaller panels. Yeah, this little bit right here, you can sort of see the pin there. It tucks under the fender, and it's a very secure connection. But now you want to flip in that mirror, and now we got to do the same on the other side. See if I can do this one without the tool. There we go. Bring it underneath, flip in that mirror, and you do just kind of want to have these out to the side. And now we're going to pull these arms up and just kind of like bring that whole back piece up because it's going to be in the way. But we want to bring, actually, you want to fold this piece in to give you some clearance to get that arm out. And we're going to do the same on this side, fold that in. We're going to just bring this whole arm out like so. Then we're just going to tuck these doors underneath like so. And then for the rest of the arm, what we want to do is we're going to take these panels here, we're going to flip them over so that the blue side is out. Flip it over, blue side out. Then we are essentially going to bring this whole thing around, if it'll cooperate. You need to sort of stretch it out a little bit. There we go, like so. You want it sitting in this orientation, and this little tab is going to plug into a little slot right here. And just kind of have to, actually I forgot, you want to unhook the outer part of the wheel like so. And then, I don't think it's in the instructions, but you do want to like fold this a little bit down. It'll help keep the wheel up because it's pretty floppy. And then we just tab that in like so. And we want to rinse and repeat. Bring that wheel up. Rotate this around, bring it up. Get that tab into the door. And then we do want to pull this down again. And you can see that there's still part of a tab. There's a tab on the door piece right here, and then this is on the inner piece. And you want to put that back in the same way that you got it out. You got to pull these down and just sort of, now that's a little too far in. Pull this down far enough to slide that in, and then push this back up, and that did not go all the way in. Pull this down. There we go. Nope. Gonna have to push this down, bring it in. There we go. Yeah, nice and snug. Pretty much just gonna untab this because it's gonna do the same thing. Get that in there. All the way in. Go all the way in. There we go. Okay, now we can tab these back in. Just like so. Yeah, just try and position that to sort of hold the wheel up. That tabbed back in. There we go. And maybe bring that a little bit more. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the arms. Now coming here to the back, you want to sort of pull these out and back at the same time. They do kind of come out on their own, but it's not perfectly rounded, so you can kind of scrape that up if you're not pulling it out as well. But then we're just going to flip up these tail fins, and do be careful, these little missiles are a little bit floppy and will try and fall out of place. But just do that and close these back up, and we're just going to sort of orient this to get it back around. We're just going to make sure that these tabs go back into the fender here. There we go. There we go. And then for this, we're going to bring these gray pieces up. And there's a tab and a slot. And do want to fold this out. Get that tabbed in, and then rotate this forward so that the little wing tip is facing towards the front of the car. Fold this out. Bring this up, tab it in, rotate this, just kind of bring those flat, and this is all unhooked now. There we go. There we go, and there you have him in his flight mode, and his hood was coming undone. And I will say it does look nice when he's actually in this mode. I do wish that these weren't so floppy, but other than that, it does at least look nice. Yeah, it usually gives me way more trouble, even with the tool, to get, especially to get these tabs for the doors all done. These leg panels really do not like to cooperate. This panel is a little bit loose. It doesn't really tab in the way it's supposed to, but it does seem that the doors hold it in, sort of like these wings were holding it in before. But yeah, there is that. And for a comparison, here he is next to Kingdom Tracks in his flight mode. So you can see how he stacks up there. And we do get an accessory. Where did I put it? There it is. We grab these inner boxes. We do have, well, a couple accessories actually. We're just gonna do that. Okay, get these pieces out of the way. So, first of all, we do get this, which is a little blaster that plugs right here in the front, and it just, you can sort of see there's this little section in the middle. And now he has his flight cannon, and I think that's pretty neato. He does also come with this, which is apparently supposed to be a flight stand adapter. I don't know what stand it's supposed to work with, and I don't actually know if it works with his vehicle mode either, to be honest. I know how it, oh yeah, I think it does. Yeah, the plug-in point's like right here. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it actually fits in the vehicle mode. But yeah, this is basically the bottom of his crotch, and you just tab it in his robot mode. But yeah, I don't know exactly what it goes to. It might go to like the main MP ones that Takara does. I'm not really sure. But that's pretty much it for his flight mode. Again, it does at least look nice, but yeah, getting here is probably the hardest or most annoying part of the entire figure. So, but we're going to go ahead and take that little gun off, put it back with the other stuff. And now we are going to finish moving him into robot mode. And yeah, there are a few things that need to be kept in mind, like the mirrors. But we will start by untabbing these arms. Untab these arms. And then we are going to bring this whole back section up and away. And we want to move these arm pieces out of the way and plug those wheels back in. And you just sort of push down and in just to get it to go back like so. And like so. And then we are going to use our tool again to open this up and pull this free. There we go. And when you get this guy out of the box, he is mistransformed, and I will go over that briefly as we continue here. And now that those are free, so we want to separate the legs. Actually, we need to kind of loosen up this hood piece before we do that. There we go. Bring that up, then we can separate the legs. There we go. And we're going to just sort of wiggle under here again. And now we can sort of grab the bottom of his feet here and bring that down. Oh, right, we need to turn these. Then that'll bring this up, and there we go. And yeah, one thing going into the car mode is these blue panels on his feet. As you bring them in, you want that blue panel to go under the foot as you bring the foot in and close it. So, and we're going to clip that blue piece in there. And now, should be able to wiggle this leg loose. There we go. Like so. Bring that all up. Like so. Okay. So now this piece, you do see the slider here. And for transformation, you want it all the way out like so. It's already all the way out. But then we are going to take this panel here. We're going to rotate it around. You can see it's just going to clip here, and that'll make his thigh. Now we can come down here and rotate. Oop. That's why it wasn't moving. I had this rotated the wrong way. There we go. Should fix that here before I accidentally do something. Anyway, bring the foot down, and you are going to want to open up the top of his foot, this little gray panel here. This one's just a little hard to get into. And then there is this little panel. You can push on this little gap in his foot here, you see? Right here. It's easy enough you can do it with your finger, but the tool will definitely help. You can see it push that up, and hey. And bring that up, and that's going to form the round part of his foot. And then you just close that up. Now, one of the things that is mistransformed when you open him up, his legs will be like this. And as you can see, there's not a lot of knee movement here. What you are actually supposed to do, and what you'll need to do out of the box, is you're going to open up this panel, extend it like so. You're going to take this gray piece here and rotate it like so. Bring his leg up fold this down, then fold this gray piece back around so it'll wrap around the leg. Then you bring this blue panel up, and this tiny little tab right here is going to go into that gray piece, like so. Then you close the leg up, like so. And now the leg is locked in place, and you also have a proper knee. So that is something that you'll need to do fresh out of the box. But anyway, we'll get back to transforming him. And we just want to unhook all of this, bring this out, get this foot a little bit loose, bring this out, and then we can just bring this whole assembly around. Then we just want to put that blue piece, click it into place. We want to bring this whole thigh piece. And when you're transforming it into car mode, be aware that you are going to have to basically move this whole gray panel around to get this onto the side, because it does need to face the tire side, and sometimes it will not go around depending on how you have this position, so just be aware. Anyway, we will, I'm putting it on the wrong side, bring that to the front of his leg and tab that in. And we're going to bring this gray piece around, bring it all the way around, fold it down, bring his leg past, and we're going to fold this back around, locking that leg in place, bring the blue panel up, close this gray panel up like so, open up the little foot panel, so, push this up, move that foot piece into place, close the foot back up. Then we want to rotate these legs. There, being weird. Want to bring this down so that his crotch plates are facing forward. And there, essentially, you have his lower half done. Now for the upper body, we are just gonna come here to this roof piece, and we want to pull it back like so. And do be careful, these are on friction joints and can pop off if you're not careful. But essentially, you just kind of want to, they're on double hinges, you want to bring them out and up and scrunch them over together so that it looks like this. Oh, this one's not sitting right. Oh, come on. There we go. So yeah, it should scrunch together like so. Then we are going to bring these doors out to the side, kind of move these arms up, fold this panel down to create the faux roof chest, like so. And you will need to fold this yellow panel, because it's what's supposed to hook onto like this assembly up here, and it is rather stiff, so you will need to use a little bit of force to just get it. There we go, like so. Bring this whole assembly straight, like so. Then you're probably going to need a tool, but it is possible to sort of wiggle his head loose, but yeah, it's a lot easier with a tool. Yeah, just to get it out of there. Because when you put it in, you basically have to click it in there. Yeah, and it looks like it's on a ball joint. It's actually on a pinned hinge that is on a very snug ball joint, so you don't have to worry too much about popping it off or anything and getting stuck in there. Anywho, so now that we have that all freed up, we do want to, I believe, we want to rotate this whole assembly around, and we're going to bring this roof piece in, and there are two little like clips that are right here. They're hard to see because they're so small, but there's two little clips that are going to these two posts like so. Gonna bring those in and just kind of, there we go. And also there are two little metal pieces here that are supposed to hook into these two slots in his backpack, right here and right here. They're kind of loose, so they don't really always hook in the best, but we are gonna open up his backpack now. And I do like this part. I think this part is clever, but we're gonna fold out this piece and this piece. Well, actually, no, we're not gonna fold those out yet. We need to rotate, come here to this back piece, and we want to rotate these white sections out, like so. Then we're going to come up to the front, and then we're going to bring this whole assembly up, like so, and like so, until it's on the top. Then what we do, we fold these little missile pieces out, and then these are supposed to be folded up like this, but you fold them out, then bring it forward and clip it together. There we go. And that forms his little shoulder rockets. And we'll do the same on the other side. Fold it together. And there we have his little shoulder rockets. And we basically, oh, I may have done that a little prematurely. Yeah. So we need to get these. Because obviously they need to face forward, and currently they are not facing forward. Right, come on. Come on. Stop being dumb. There we go. Make sure we flip these. Pretty sure we have to flip these here first. And half the reason I'm doing this review, despite having a bunch of other backlog, is because I really want to get this one out of the way. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. And we get them all reassembled. Come on. Oh, there we go. And then we want to bring them back so that the little colored pieces line up. We want to flip this middle piece up, and that'll form his little backpack crest. What's it? These need to stay down. They're not supposed to come up for this. And then bring these back in. Then we do want to bring these doors here. I'm going to rotate this and bring them. So we need to, so this joint here that's attaching the doors is actually on a little slider. It's a very small one, but it's on a slider. Bring it out, and wanna let's see, want to bring this around, but then we also want to make sure we line all this up. And these fenders, this tiny little square here, right here above that slot, that is also a slider, and you need to push that in. like so. So let's see if I can. I'll just do it on the other side. Again, this little square right here. Let me push it. It's in for robot, out for car. There we go. Very snug. Anyway, we bring that, and we want to, and we're just going to bring this up again to get it out of the way. We do need to sort of align these shoulders as we go, because it's going to make things a lot more complicated if we don't. And it's hard trying to remember exactly how they line up. But I do think, yeah, I think it's like so. Yeah. Yes, that is how it works. You can see that they all sort of come together flush-ish. So as you bring the door back, you want to rotate this up and bring this piece forward, and then you bend this at a right angle like so, and as you bring it around, it should line up. And then there is a little sort of like tab slot connection right here, sort of hard to see, but you bring that in, and then you are going to compress those sliders back in like so. And there you have the sides of his torso done. And rotate this around, get it out of the way again. Now, again, you want to make sure that the mirrors are tucked in. You're going to fold these over. Now, out of the package, he will have his hood and then his doors. That is also mistransformed. You want to have the doors down first and then the hood, because this tab here on the hood, on the very end of it, actually plugs in. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. There is this little tab slot right up here, right up in here, and that's going to hook onto that tab, and it's going to secure the backpack. So we want to bring this up, and it's actually a very secure tab considering how small it is. So, but we want to make sure that we get it in there. Nope. Might have to do these pieces first and bring this forward. Oh yeah, and we do want, might help if make this gray piece here, it's got to sit flush against his back, so you might have to move the doors around it. This is also a good time to hook in these die cast pieces, because that's pretty much the best chance you're going to get them to stay secure. Bring this up. Come on. And yeah, honestly, you're pretty much going to have to feel for this one. It's a little hard to see when everything's in there. Probably need to close this up, and that's why. And again, these just really don't like to sit flush. It's a little easier to see from this end. Come on. There we go. Now let's see if I can actually get everything oriented properly after that. That up. Hook these die cast pieces into that gray block. Bring his head forward like so. I just untap that backpack after all that work. This is not a fun toy. Been sitting here in silence for like probably 15 minutes trying to figure out this dumb backpack. There, it's tabbed in. We're not messing with this anymore. Anyway, get his stupid hands out. You pull this out to the side. You bring it down. It'll rotate the hand out. It does only rotate one way because the hinge side has a little tab on it. So fold that back up in there. Make sure that's tabbed in, and then I do believe you want the gray panel out for this one. I'm going to take this little piece, fold that up to finish the arm, rotate his hand, rinse and repeat. Bring that out, get that hooked in, tab that in like so, flip up that little piece to finish the arm. There we go. Rotate the fist, and there we have him in his robot mode as his shoulder pops out of place. What the heck? That's nice. There we go. Get back in there. So yeah, there we have Trax. And yeah, I kind of hate this thing, honestly. I regret buying it. He's over-engineered. He fights you. A lot of things just don't want to fit together quite right. And he's extremely disappointing compared to their other offering. Their Blitzwing, I thought was great. Yeah, you can't even stand up, can you? And like this just kind of continues the whole Trax never gets good toys tradition, I guess. Just so disappointed in this. Because yeah, I absolutely loved the Blitzwing they put out, so that's why I decided to get this guy. And yeah, just I hate it. I hate it. It's not fun. Just not fun in the slightest. Here he is next to KO Takara MP Trax. So you see how he stacks up against the official. So there's that. Here he is next to Star Toys Blitzwing. And yeah, just like after this I had high expectations, and he's just a complete letdown. Not even remotely fun But we do have a couple little things to talk about before my battery dies here, because this is taking so long. I was planning on doing other reviews today, but that's not happening. So you did get his signature pistol. Does not store anywhere in the vehicle mode, but you can give it to him in robot mode. It's just a tab, and you can only hold it in the right hand, which is kind of lame, but just tab it into his palm, rotate that thumb up, and then just close his fingers. So yeah, you can have him with his signature pistol. And the other thing is we do get 3 alternate faces. Just, can you cooperate so I can finish this? So we get a smiley face, I think it's a shouty face, and he's got like a default like stern face. And then we do get the alien mask from the Hollywood episode. But to change these, you just kind of get up under his chin, and might have to extend his neck, but they just pop right off. They're just tabbed in. And we'll give him the alien mask. So there's that. So those are fairly easy to switch out. I do need to talk about the articulation. We'll give him a different face. Just give him that stern face back. So the head is on a hinge that is also on a ball joint, so you get plenty of movement there. The wings, they are tabbed in for this, but you can untab them and move them around if you want. These are just on simple hinges. The arms can do a full 360, just kind of watch for the wings. Does have all the way up at the shoulder, 360 at the shoulder. It does have a bicep swivel. Does have actually a double jointed elbow, so you can get a full bend. We do get wrist rotation. Do get an index finger, 3 fingers, and then the hinge or the thumb is just on a hinge that goes all the way up and down. So we do get a full 360 at the waist. We do get all the way forward, all the way back, and his hip skirts do move with the legs. So you get all the way out to the side. Do get a smidge over 90. We do get up and down at the feet, as you can see here, and you do get ankle tiltage. Do also get thigh rotation. Anything else? No, I think that's everything. But yeah, like I said, this guy's a huge disappointment. He wasn't super expensive. He was like, I think like $80 after shipping and everything. But yeah, honestly, after their Blitzwing, I really had high hopes, and this did not meet expectations. He's not fun to transform. He looks really good, I'll give him that. Especially the vehicle. The vehicle looks really nice in my opinion, but yeah, I got him a couple days ago, and I basically beelined him to the front of the filming list because I don't want to deal with him anymore. He's just that unfun to play with. He is going to collect dust until I either decide to sell him or maybe put him back in the box. I don't know. Yeah, I would recommend if you're really looking for an MP Trax. He's not as pretty looking, but you just get the KO MP if you can, because that's going to be like half the price and pretty much more fun. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't. I really, really don't like this. So yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a 2 out of 10, and go do something less stressful. My butt hurts from sitting here. My camera's about to die, and this has just been stressful. So yeah, anyway, thanks for tuning in, and this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.